Don't try this at home, kids. Let's see how this thing really handles and how much you can push it. I think I actually almost just scraped the peg. Oh, we've had this for less than a week. Hey everybody, I'm Ethan, and today I'm going to give you my first impressions of the Sondors Metacycle, next on Now Let's Review. We have the Metacycle, the Sondors Metacycle, the very long-awaited, highly anticipated electric motorcycle, and today I'm going to give you my first impressions. This is not the full review video, just I want to make that clear, so no one leave comments like, well, you didn't talk about this, that, or the other. I know, I'm going to cover that in a full review video, but this today is just my first impressions. I've barely ridden this. I've literally only taken it like down the road for 10 minutes before filming this, so not my full review video, just my first impressions. With that being said, I want to just go over a few stats before we go out for the ride. This has a hub motor, obviously, in the rear wheel here. It has 8 kilowatts, or about 11 horsepower of nominal power, and 14.5 kilowatts, or about 20 horsepower of peak power. This very thick battery here is a 4 kilowatt hour battery. This claims 60 miles of real-world range and up to 80 miles in perfectly ideal conditions. This has a top speed of 80 miles an hour, which I will probably test out today. This also has 80 foot-pounds of nominal torque and 130 foot-pounds of peak torque. So this has a lot of torque. So the styling is great. I really love the look. You got your disc brakes on the back and the front. These are only one rotor, front and back. Most of the time you only get one back rotor on bikes, but on a lot of bikes you do get 2 front rotors. Not the case on this, you only get 1. Obviously, the standout part of this design is this huge gap here. I believe they're gonna have some add-ons you can get. This might be storage, this might be additional battery. So we'll see what they end up doing with this space, but it does look really cool. And then here is this see-through compartment that is also a wireless charger. This is probably the cheapest feeling part of the bike. You really have to like try very hard to open and close it. Like, it doesn't open and close nicely at all. Feels really cheap, but it will charge my phone. Maybe. Why is it beeping? There we go. Okay, so now my phone is charging. So it is definitely cool. If I close my phone in here, great. You can leave, you know, like GPS on or navigation on or whatever. It is cool. I just wish that it was nicer because this really sucks to get open and closed. But yeah, like I said, this is first impressions. I'm not going to go too in depth with all the minor details and everything. I kind of gave it my little initial looking at it impressions, but let's go for a ride. We'll see how I like it. So you do have to press this park button to get it out of park, and then you're good to go. So let's go. Obviously, we have been waiting for this for a very long time. Super excited that it's finally here. I didn't really have any like expectations, honestly, as far as how fast I expected this to be, but I would say this is a very reasonable speed considering the weight and power. By speed, I mean acceleration. Now that was just in the normal mode. You do have a sport mode, which I will be using in a little bit, and what that sport mode does is it gives you extra power, makes it quicker acceleration and stuff, but only for 2 minutes, and then it has a 30-second plus cooldown time. So, but yeah, other than that sport mode, there's just the one drive mode. It's so weird how quiet it is. Like, I'm used to it now with electric dirt bikes and stuff. I've ridden those, but like, this is the first time I've ever actually been out on the road on an electric motorcycle. And you don't really notice it that much when you're moving because the wind noise is still buffeting your helmet and stuff. There's no wind protection here. But as soon as I came to a stop or really slowed down, I was like, oh my God, it's dead silent. Comfort is, it's all right. I've only been out for like 5 minutes at this point, and the seat is already starting to be uncomfortable. It's a very narrow seat. It's a very, very narrow seat. Granted, this isn't meant to be taken out on like long touring rides. This is kind of your rip across town and back kind of thing, or like quick 1 hour ride to work or whatever. So for that, I can handle it, but if I was going any further than that, this seat is not gonna cut it. So I guess as much as this isn't the type of riding I wanna be doing, I wanna be going on twisty back roads and stuff, but for riding around town, which is kind of what this bike is designed for, This is so nice. It's just so quiet, so easy to ride, so simple. As a urban or suburban commuter, I see this thing being a fantastic option. All right, but let's see how it does on some twisty roads. And I'm gonna put it in sport. I have 2 minutes of increased acceleration. Yeah, okay. So you definitely notice the increase in acceleration in sport mode. It's way quicker. All right, let's see how it handles. This thing is fun. It's so quiet that I'm actually hearing rattling coming from the visor of my helmet that I've never noticed before. And now it's pissing me off. So the most audible noise I'm hearing while I'm riding this bike is just the wind noise in my helmet, but then as far as the bike itself goes, I'm pretty sure all I'm really hearing is the tires on the ground. I think that guy might have known what this is because he was giving me the thumbs up out the window. I think that guy actually knew that this was the Metacycle. Don't try this at home, kids, on a residential road, but we're going sport. No one in front of me, no one behind me, gonna 0 to 60. Ready? Go. All right. It's pretty quick. It's probably the slowest motorcycle I've ever ridden, but for what it is, for the size and weight and everything, it's quick. And especially considering this is just a commuting vehicle, this thing is quick for that. The power doesn't really start coming on until you get above 20 miles an hour. 25, 30 is where it really starts to feel like it's got some snap, and it certainly does. Let's see how this thing really handles and how much you can push it. Wow, this is fun. That handles really well. I think I actually almost just scraped the peg. Oh, we've had this for less than a week. And it's kind of nice in a devious way that it's so quiet because I can just hoon around and no one can hear me. So no one knows how fast I'm riding. This is a gravel and dirt road. Yeah, the suspension is really stiff. This does have inverted forks though, so that's good. So yeah, I would say based on this, if you encounter shitty roads, like crap pavement, or if you have to go on dirt roads or like through a construction zone or whatever, this is fine. I know people coming, all right, we look good. Ah, lots of shit on the road. I've never experienced anything like this, to be honest. Like when I'm riding like the Talaria, the electric dirt bike, which I'll have a review on very soon, so make sure you stick around. When I'm riding that, I can hear like the drivetrain noise still, and it makes this very audible like electric buzzing sound and everything. It's still cool, it's still way quieter than other dirt bikes, but like I still hear it. Whereas with this, I don't hear anything other than the wind and the tire noise, and that's just an entirely new experience for me. I've ridden zero motorcycles before, but around a parking lot. But this actually out on the road is the first time I'm even experiencing a real electric motorcycle experience. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It is more legitimate than I thought it was gonna be. And by legitimate, I mean like you can actually ride it like a real motorcycle to an extent. And I don't know, I thought it was gonna be less capable than it is. But yeah, this seat is not very comfortable. This handles really well. I haven't noticed a huge decrease in acceleration as the battery's been going down, which is nice. It's nice that it's consistent. I do feel less significant on this. And by that I just mean like it's a smaller bike. I feel like I have less road presence. I think obviously this is a very eye-catching vehicle, so I think people are gonna be looking at it, but like, I don't want them distracted looking at the bike. I just feel like I feel more vulnerable on this than I do on my bike or any other quote unquote real motorcycles that I've ridden before. We'll do a quick highway stint, and then we'll get off the highway as soon as possible. And we'll be going sport mode for sure. Go. All right, how's merging on the highway? All right, 73. I want to go top speed. I hit what this says is 83. I don't have a GPS app out right now. Fastest I've seen is 83. What the hell was that? That was so scary. Oh my God, what is going on? It just cut me down. I was going like 75, all the power cut out. Now I can't go any faster. Now it's slowly accelerating me back up. That is so dangerous. Why would it do that? If I had someone tailgating me, I would have been hit. Sondors, whatever the hell that was, you need to take care of that immediately. All right, let's see how these brakes do. Very strong brakes. So, got the highway experience out of the way. Yes, you can take this thing on the highway. The display is it's fine. It's nice, clear, easy to read in terms of like the information, but it's dim. And even when you turn the headlights on to the brighter modes, the screen doesn't get brighter. At least my phone is charging. I wonder how much power that's taking out, how much range I'm losing because I'm charging my phone. All right, I have 2 white bars and 1 red bar left on the battery, so I'm nearing the end of the range. I really didn't think that I would be using this much of the battery. I was like, all right, I'll go out for an hour, I'll ride around. And I've used almost all the batteries, so that's also interesting. Like, I was expecting to have more battery than this left over by the end of this ride. I was expecting to have at least a full like third of the battery, maybe even closer to half. And yes, I've been aggressively accelerating and stuff, but like most of the riding I've been doing has been a consistent speed. I don't believe 60 miles out of this. I'll test it. I certainly will test it, but I don't believe it. Okay, so that was a 55-minute ride. And again, I wasn't going super fast that whole time. I only did a tiny bit of highway riding. Wasn't a lot of full throttle acceleration. And I've only got 3 out of 10 battery bars left. My phone is 97% charged, so my phone took a little bit of that juice, but I would hope not enough that this would seriously impact the range. Overall, for first impressions and like a first ride, I think it was a lot of fun. I'll deal with all the detailed stuff in a full detailed review, but as far as a first ride, first impressions, I think it's a fun bike. All right, so that wraps it up for my first impressions of the Sondors Metacycle. I had a great time riding this and filming this video, and again, my full review will be coming soon, so stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe, and give this video a like if you liked the video and you like the bike, and let me know in the comments what you think of the bike so far. And we'll see you next time. Now let's review.